Midnight blue light spills across an infinity pool that stretches toward a horizon that doesn't exist. Beneath your feet, marble floors pulse with algorithms responding to your heartbeat. Beyond floor-to-ceiling windows, a digital skyline glitters with properties worth more than most physical penthouses in Manhattan. Welcome to the Metaverse's most exclusive neighborhood where the ultra-wealthy are spending fortunes on addresses made entirely of code. Here's what the real estate world isn't telling you. While traditional markets fluctuate with interest rates and economic uncertainty, a parallel universe of property ownership has quietly emerged. Billionaires, celebrities, and institutional investors have poured hundreds of millions into virtual land parcels. These aren't gaming assets. They're strategic holdings in what many believe will become humanity's next great frontier. Republic Realm dropped for $0.3 million on a single plot of digital sand. Tokens.com invested $2.43 million in a fashion district that exists only as blockchain coordinates. Snoop Dogg built an empire within the Sandbox that generated millions in neighboring property sales overnight. What drives someone to spend more on pixelated property than a beachfront villa in Malibu? The answer reveals everything about where luxury is heading. Digital scarcity now mirrors physical scarcity. Just as only one person can own a specific address on Fifth Avenue, only one wallet can claim a prime virtual coordinate. And as major brands, entertainment companies, and financial institutions stake their claims, available premium territory shrinks rapidly. Estimates suggest the Metaverse real estate market exceeded $1 billion in transaction volume during its peak months. Some analysts project this sector could represent hundreds of billions within the next decade. But beyond the speculation lies something more profound. These digital estates showcase architectural impossibilities, structures that defy gravity, materials that don't exist in nature, and experiences that physical construction could never deliver. The ultra-rich aren't just buying land, they're purchasing access to impossible dreams made tangible through technology. Today, we're unlocking the blueprint. These are the designs that will define how humanity lives tomorrow. Before we enter these extraordinary properties, understand what separates a valuable metaverse address from worthless coordinates floating in digital space. Leading blockchain analytics firms have tracked over $2 billion in cumulative metaverse land transactions across major platforms. Sources inside top development studios confirm that institutional investors now account for nearly 40% of premium acquisitions. This isn't speculative chaos. This is calculated wealth preservation and strategic positioning. Our journey takes us through 7 of the most coveted digital estates ever created. We've analyzed transaction records, interviewed virtual architects, and accessed exclusive previews of properties that haven't been publicly documented. Each estate represents a different philosophy about virtual luxury, from celebrity compounds to AI-generated impossibilities. What you'll witness challenges every assumption about property, permanence, and the meaning of home itself. The platforms hosting these addresses, Decentraland, the Sandbox, Somnium Space, and Otherside, operate on blockchain technology, ensuring permanent, verifiable ownership. When you purchase physical real estate, you receive a deed stored in a government registry. When you purchase metaverse real estate, you receive an NFT stored on an immutable distributed ledger. Neither can be duplicated. Neither can be forged. Both represent genuine scarcity in their respective realities. Consider this as we begin. Every revolutionary real estate market seemed absurd to those who arrived too late. Manhattan Island was purchased for goods worth approximately $24. Beverly Hills was dismissed as worthless scrubland. Today's metaverse skeptics might be tomorrow's regretful observers. The addresses we're about to explore demonstrate why serious money takes virtual property very seriously indeed. Coming in at number 7, we encounter the property that started everything, the estate that proved digital architecture could command real-world prices and ignite a global conversation about what ownership means in an increasingly virtual age. Soft pink light washes across curved walls that seem to breathe with each passing second. Glass surfaces reflect an eternal sunset that never fades, never changes, yet somehow feels alive with possibility. This is Mars House, designed by digital artist Krista Kim in collaboration with architect David Goldberg and soundscape artist Jeff Schroeder of the Smashing Pumpkins. In March 2021, it sold for approximately $500,000, the first purely digital home ever transacted as an NFT. Mars House doesn't attempt to replicate physical reality. Every surface flows with gradient lighting that shifts through meditative color spectrums. The furniture, designed exclusively for virtual embodiment, prioritizes aesthetic impact over ergonomic concerns that don't apply to avatar bodies. A grand piano floats in the main living space, not as decoration but as an interactive instrument visitors can actually play. The surrounding landscape features terrain inspired by potential Martian settlements rolling pink dunes beneath an alien sky. Here's what most observers missed about this transaction. The buyer didn't acquire just a viewable asset. They purchased exclusive ownership of a fully immersive environment compatible with multiple VR platforms. They can invite guests for virtual gatherings. They can modify the space according to Kim's permitted parameters. Most importantly, they own the only authenticated original in existence. Copies might proliferate across the internet, but only one wallet holds the verified blockchain certificate of ownership. Krista Kim described Mars House as an exploration of healing architecture of environments designed to reduce stress and promote mental wellness through careful color theory and spatial design. Physical construction couldn't achieve these effects. Materials don't exist that emit light in these precise frequencies. Surfaces can't shift through color gradients without extensive mechanical systems. But in virtual space, the architecture itself becomes the lighting, the therapy, the experience. The property demonstrated that digital real estate could attract serious collectors willing to pay luxury prices for assets they could never physically touch. Within weeks of the sale, interest in NFT architecture exploded. Virtual architects found their services suddenly in demand from collectors who previously only commissioned physical structures. Mars House didn't just sell for $500,000. It opened a market that would eventually absorb billions. That was groundbreaking. This next one redefines everything. Number 6 takes us offshore, not to a Caribbean island, but to waters that exist only as blockchain-verified coordinates within the Sandbox Metaverse. Salt spray seems almost tangible as you approach the vessel. Except there's no salt, no spray, and no actual water. Yet somehow, the Metaflower Super Mega Yacht convinced someone to spend $650,000 for the privilege of virtual ownership. In November 2021, an anonymous buyer acquired this floating estate, setting the record for the most expensive NFT yacht ever sold. The Metaflower spans multiple decks across what developers describe as epic proportions within the Sandbox's ocean zones. The main entertaining level features a DJ booth, dual hot tubs, and a helipad that actually functions. Avatars can arrive via digital helicopters and land on the illuminated platform. Below deck, a personal lounge area offers intimate gathering spaces lined with digital art displays that owners can customize with their NFT collections. The Master Suite occupies an entire level, featuring wraparound windows that provide 360-degree views of whatever virtual seascape the owner desires. According to proprietary AI modeling data from virtual architecture firms, the Metaflower represents a specific design philosophy: digital maximalism. Where Mars House pursued meditative minimalism, this yacht celebrates abundance impossible in physical yachting. No fuel costs. No crew salaries. No maintenance schedules. No docking fees. No navigation restrictions. The vessel can anchor anywhere within the Sandbox's marine territories, and the owner can teleport aboard from any location in the Metaverse instantly. What the design world isn't telling you about the Metaflower sale. It wasn't about the yacht itself. The purchase included something far more valuable: adjacent water rights. The Sandbox operates on a grid system where neighboring parcels affect property values dramatically. By acquiring the Metaflower and its surrounding aquatic coordinates, the buyer secured a strategic position that could appreciate as the Sandbox's maritime district develops. Future yacht clubs, virtual marinas, and waterfront entertainment venues would all need to negotiate with this owner for prime positioning. The buyer understood Metaverse real estate fundamentals that escape casual observers. Location within digital worlds matters just as much as location within physical cities. Early positioning in emerging districts creates lasting advantages that later rivals cannot replicate. The Metaflower wasn't a frivolous purchase. It was a calculated bet on virtual oceanfront development. The possibilities were about to multiply. Position 5 belongs to an address that proves fashion's future might exist entirely in digital dimensions. Crystal chandeliers cast fractured light across runway floors that stretch toward virtual infinity. Mannequins display garments that shimmer with materials no textile factory could produce, fabrics that change pattern based on viewer location, colors that shift through impossible spectrums, textures that respond to avatar proximity. Welcome to Fashion Street Estate, the crown jewel of Decentraland's fashion district. This territory gained global attention when Tokens.com Corporation acquired a massive land portfolio in Decentraland's fashion district. For approximately $2.43 million in November 2021, the company didn't purchase a single parcel. They acquired 116 plots, creating a development opportunity that fashion brands worldwide immediately recognized as strategically essential. Fashion Street Estate occupies prime frontage along the district's main thoroughfare, virtual real estate equivalent to storefront property on Madison Avenue or the Champs-Élysées. Major brands including Dolce & Gabbana, Tommy Hilfiger, and Elie Saab have since established presences in this district. Metaverse Fashion Week, hosted annually in Decentraland, attracts hundreds of thousands of avatar attendees who browse collections, attend virtual runway shows, and purchase digital wearables for their online identities. The property itself showcases what virtual commercial architecture can achieve. The main building features 12 floors connected by gravity-defying staircases that spiral through open atriums. Roof gardens bloom with digital flora that changes seasonally, cherry blossoms in spring, golden maples in autumn, crystalline ice sculptures in winter. Underground levels host exclusive member lounges where invitation-only access creates artificial scarcity, mirroring elite physical fashion clubs. Sources inside leading design firms revealed that Fashion Street Estate's valuation methodology breaks from traditional real estate metrics entirely. Physical properties derive value from foot traffic, accessibility, and surrounding amenities. Virtual properties derive value from visitor attention, social media integration, and brand adjacencies. Fashion Street's worth increased substantially when major luxury houses established neighboring presences. Each new brand arrival amplified the district's prestige, which elevated all surrounding property values. This is where innovation meets impossibility. Digital fashion generates billions in annual revenue as avatar customization becomes essential to online identity. The clothes you wear in virtual meetings, social platforms, and gaming environments now carry status significance previously reserved for physical wardrobes. Fashion Street Estate positions its owner at the epicenter of this cultural transformation. They're not landlords in the traditional sense. They're gatekeepers to digital identity commerce. But we're just scratching the surface. Number 4 demands we enter territory where celebrity transforms into real estate value, where one famous name created an entire neighborhood economy overnight. Bass frequencies pulse through walls constructed from visualized sound waves. Neon lighting cycles through patterns synchronized to an eternal hip-hop soundtrack. Security stations guard access points that separate the public metaverse from one of its most exclusive private compounds. This is the Snoopverse, Snoop Dogg's personal domain within the Sandbox, and the surrounding neighborhood has become some of the most valuable digital territory ever recorded. When Snoop Dogg announced his partnership with the Sandbox in late 2021, something unprecedented happened to adjacent property values. A user paid $450,000 simply to become Snoop Dogg's virtual neighbor. Within months, the entire Snoopverse district commanded premium prices that defied all previous metaverse real estate logic. Proximity to celebrity, even digital proximity, created tangible financial value. The compound itself spans multiple connected parcels developed by the Sandbox's architecture team in collaboration with Snoop Dogg's creative direction. A massive recreation of his real-world mansion anchors the property, featuring rooms where visitors might encounter avatar appearances from the artist himself. A private concert venue hosts exclusive performances for token holders who purchase special access passes. A museum chronicles his career through interactive exhibits showcasing music videos, album artwork, and virtual merchandise. Here's what nobody notices about the Snoopverse's design brilliance. The architecture serves a specific economic function: attention harvesting. Every visitor who enters generates engagement metrics that increase the property's perceived value. Every social media post from within the compound amplifies its cultural relevance. Every news article mentioning the district reinforces its position as a metaverse landmark. The buildings weren't designed for comfort or aesthetics. They were engineered for virality. The compound introduced a real estate concept that didn't exist before digital worlds influenced proximity valuation. In physical reality, celebrity neighbors occasionally provide bragging rights but rarely affect property appraisals significantly. In metaverse reality, celebrity presence directly correlates with visitor traffic, which determines commercial viability, which establishes market value. The Snoopverse didn't just create a neighborhood. It invented a new valuation methodology that now applies across all celebrity-adjacent virtual properties. Surrounding parcels continue commanding premium prices years after initial sales. Developers who secured early positions have built nightclubs, art galleries, and exclusive member experiences that benefit from Snoopverse spillover traffic. The economics mirror Beverly Hills after movie stars' established residence, except compressed into months rather than decades. Think that's innovative? Keep watching. Landing at number 3. We encounter the transaction that silenced metaverse real estate skeptics permanently. A purchase so substantial it forced traditional financial media to acknowledge virtual property as a legitimate asset class. Dawn breaks over an archipelago that exists only as coordinates on a blockchain. Pristine beaches rim islands that feature vacation properties, adventure experiences, and private estates stretching across 100 virtual acres. In November 2021, Republic Realm paid $4.3 million for this territory within the Sandbox, the largest metaverse land acquisition ever publicly recorded at that time. Republic Realm didn't operate on speculation. They arrived with a development plan that demonstrated sophisticated understanding of virtual real estate dynamics. The company announced Fantasy Islands, a collection of 100 private island estates they would develop and sell to individual buyers seeking exclusive metaverse vacation properties. Each island would feature custom architecture, yacht access, and membership benefits connecting owners to a community of verified ultra-high net worth individuals. The development plan revealed what serious metaverse real estate investment looks like. Republic Realm understood that raw virtual land, like raw physical land, requires development to maximize value. Their $4.3 million purchase represented acquisition cost only. Development expenses, marketing budgets, and ongoing community management would add millions more. They weren't buying pixels. They were establishing a development company within a digital jurisdiction. Advanced sustainability metrics show, or rather, virtual economics metrics show why this acquisition made financial sense. The Sandbox's total land supply is permanently capped at 166,464 plots. No more can ever be created. As platform adoption increases and available parcels decrease, simple supply-demand dynamics suggest value appreciation. Republic Realm secured 100 plots, representing approximately 0.06% of total supply. That concentration provides negotiating leverage as the Sandbox's ecosystem expands. What this AI actually calculated and what traditional analysts missed was the importance of theme district development. Fantasy Islands created a brand identity within the Sandbox that attracted specific buyer demographics. Wealthy individuals who might never purchase random metaverse coordinates suddenly found an offering that aligned with their lifestyle aspiration. Tropical luxury, exclusive community, verified ownership. The product market fit generated demand that raw land sales could never achieve. Individual Fantasy Islands subsequently sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars each. Republic Realms' development strategy transformed their acquisition into a profitable real estate operation that validated Metaverse property investment as a genuine business model rather than speculative gambling. And this is where design transcends imagination. Number 2 takes us into the most exclusive coordinates within what might become the Metaverse's most valuable platform, territory controlled by the same organization behind the most successful NFT collection in history. Twilight colors swirl across a landscape that shouldn't exist. Floating crystals emit harmonic frequencies that seem to vibrate through virtual atmosphere. Massive structures rise from terrain that shifts between biomes, Arctic frost transitioning to tropical jungle within footsteps. This is the Otherside, Yuga Labs' expansion of the Bored Ape Yacht Club universe into fully immersive metaverse territory, and its premium Apex estates represent the most coveted digital addresses currently available. Yuga Labs launched Otherside in April 2022 with a land sale that crashed Ethereum's network, generating over $300 million in transaction volume within hours. The platform classifies its land parcels into tiers based on sediment type and special features. Apex parcels, the rarest category, contain codas, mysterious creature NFTs that inhabit the property and provide unique benefits to owners. Only 10,000 author deeds contain codas, making them scarce even within an already limited supply. The architecture emerging on Apex parcels demonstrates what happens when NFT wealth meets virtual real estate ambition. Owners who purchased their Bored Apes years ago for modest sums now hold assets worth hundreds of thousands or millions. Their Otherside estates reflect that transformed financial position. Custom structures commissioned from leading virtual architects feature materials that reference Bored Ape aesthetics, banana motifs, ape-themed decorative elements, and color palettes matching famous collection pieces. According to proprietary AI modeling data from blockchain analytics firms, Apex author deeds have traded at premiums exceeding 300% compared to standard parcels. A single Apex coordinate with a rare coda sold for over $1.5 million. Buyers aren't acquiring empty land. They're purchasing positions within what may become the most exclusive digital community ever assembled, the virtual neighborhood where crypto's earliest and wealthiest adopters establish their metaverse headquarters. The truth? Far more revolutionary than the renders currently show. Yuga Labs has announced plans for Otherside to become a fully interoperable metaverse platform where users can bring NFTs from other collections, attend massive multiplayer experiences, and build interconnected economies. Apex estate owners would control key positions within this ecosystem, the equivalent of owning real estate surrounding what might become a major digital city center. What follows rewrites the possibilities entirely. First on our tour, the addresses that don't exist yet but will define metaverse luxury for the next generation. These are the AI-designed mega-states currently in development by architecture firms that refused public identification. Commissioned by clients whose net worth requires privacy teams and whose vision extends decades into virtual futures. Silence falls across a chamber where light itself seems to meditate. Walls constructed from algorithms rather than materials shift imperceptibly, their surfaces displaying patterns that respond to the emotional states of occupants. Climate systems and necessary in digital environments create the sensation of perfect 72-degree comfort through haptic feedback integrated with next-generation VR hardware. This is the frontier of metaverse residential development, where AI-generated architecture meets unlimited construction budgets and clients who refuse to accept existing design limitations. Sources inside top architecture firms confirm that at least a dozen ultra-high net worth individuals have commissioned custom metaverse estates with development budgets exceeding $5 million each. These aren't purchases of existing parcels or prefabricated structures. These are ground-up developments where teams of architects, AI artists, programmers, and experiential designers collaborate for months to create singular virtual properties. One commission details protected under non-disclosure agreements reportedly spans 7 interconnected metaverse platforms. The owner will maintain presence simultaneously in Decentraland, the Sandbox, Somnium Space, and for additional platforms currently in development. A unified design language connects all properties, allowing the owner to recognize their domain regardless of which metaverse they enter. Custom avatar transportation systems enable instant teleportation between platforms, creating a personal network of luxury addresses across the entire digital real estate landscape. Generative algorithms calculated 18 million variations before selecting optimal spatial configurations for another estate under development. The AI processed psychological research on comfort, attention, and emotional regulation to design rooms that actively improve occupant mental states. Machine learning analyzed thousands of hours of VR usage data to understand how avatars naturally navigate space, then optimized traffic flow accordingly. The resulting architecture couldn't have emerged from human design alone. It required computational processing that synthesized disciplines no individual architect could master. These upcoming estates will feature something no current metaverse property offers: dynamic architecture that evolves over time. Rather than static structures that remain unchanged after construction, AI systems will continuously modify environments based on owner preferences, visitor feedback, and emerging design trends. A living room that feels dated could transform overnight as algorithms integrate fresh aesthetic approaches. A garden that becomes boring could bloom with entirely new virtual flora generated specifically for that space. What the design world isn't telling you about these commissions? They represent a new asset class entirely, not just virtual real estate but ongoing architectural services bundled with property ownership. Buyers pay initial development costs plus recurring fees for AI-powered evolution. They're not purchasing a home, they're subscribing to an endlessly updating luxury experience that remains permanently current. The implications extend beyond individual estates. These developments are forcing metaverse platforms to upgrade infrastructure capabilities. Current systems weren't designed for the processing demands of AI-generated dynamic architecture. Platforms hosting these estates must expand server capacity, develop new rendering protocols, and create maintenance systems that didn't previously exist. A handful of ultra-wealthy clients are literally reshaping the technical foundations of virtual worlds through their commission requirements. Privacy features in development would make physical security systems seem primitive. Blockchain-verified access protocols ensure that only approved avatars can even perceive the property. Uninvited visitors would see empty space where estates actually exist. Quantum-resistant encryption protects ownership records against future computational threats. Biometric verification through VR hardware confirms that the avatar entering matches the biological owner's unique identifiers. These estates will offer security levels impossible in physical reality. What you think you know about smart homes is outdated by comparison. Physical smart homes react to occupant presence with lighting adjustments and temperature changes. These metaverse estates will anticipate occupant needs through predictive AI, preparing environments before arrival based on calendar data, mood indicators, and behavioral patterns. The architecture won't just respond, it will prepare, suggest, and optimize continuously. This detail transforms everything about virtual luxury. The metaverse's future elite addresses won't be defined by location alone. They'll be distinguished by the sophistication of their AI integration, the exclusivity of their development teams, and the ongoing investment in architectural evolution. Static properties, even expensive static properties, will become the digital equivalent of outdated mansions. Dynamic AI estates will command premium valuations that reflect their perpetual relevance. These 7 addresses tell a story larger than individual properties or transaction amounts. They reveal a fundamental shift in how humanity conceptualizes ownership, luxury, and the meaning of home itself. Mars House proved that digital architecture could achieve artistic significance matching physical masterpieces. The Metaflower demonstrated that virtual luxury goods could command 6-figure prices from serious collectors. Fashion Street Estate showed institutional investors treating metaverse coordinates as strategic assets. The Snoopverse proved that celebrity influence translates directly into digital property values. Republic Realms Fantasy Islands validated professional real estate development within virtual worlds. Otherside's Apex Estates concentrated crypto wealth into the most exclusive community ever, blockchain verified. And the AI-generated mega estates currently in development suggest a future where the wealthiest humans maintain primary residences across multiple simultaneous realities. We stand at an inflection point that mirrors historical moments when new frontiers opened for settlement. Early skeptics of every revolutionary real estate market eventually watched from the sidelines as visionaries accumulated generational wealth. The metaverse may seem abstract today, coordinates and code rather than soil and structures. But abstraction characterized every human value system that eventually became concrete reality. Money was abstract until societies agreed on its worth. Property was abstract until legal systems enforced ownership. The metaverse extends these abstractions into dimensions we're only beginning to understand. The question isn't whether virtual real estate will matter. The addresses we've explored prove that question was answered years ago. The question now is which metaverse territories will appreciate like Manhattan, and which will stagnate like countless forgotten towns that never developed significance. The ultra-wealthy placing multi-million-dollar bets have access to analysis, advisors, and insights unavailable to casual observers. Their choices indicate which virtual worlds they believe will host tomorrow's most important experiences. If you're ready to explore the complete evolution of luxury living and AI-designed architecture, our full documentary series awaits on the Virtual Estate main channel. The link is in the description. Step into tomorrow.